Greetings, everyone. It's Mitch again. I wanted to do a little quick video about confidence, about believing in yourself. Everyone knows I always campaign for my book, Words Over Matter, the science of using your words to shape your life. And it's on Amazon. Yes, I just plugged my book. But I'm going to just share a little confidence tip with you and how you can use your words to improve your life. We live in very, very negative times. Every time you turn on the news, there's a negative story. We're constantly being bombarded with images of people that look perfect, that have the perfect lives. We're being made to feel ashamed of our lives if we don't drive a certain car, or if we don't have a perfect body, or if we don't achieve a certain point by a certain age. We are constantly being told we're not good enough. Now, if you consume that stuff and you don't think it's affecting you, believe me, it is. Take a look at your health. Take a look at your quality of life. Take a look at your relationship. Just take some inventory of everything in your life and weigh it against this material you see on TV. And maybe do this over the course of a month or 2 months, and then take some inventory at the end. And then reflect and see if this information does not affect you, how you feel. And it's not just on the exterior. I'm talking about inside, because there's some people, we look great, but then on the inside, we suffer from low self-esteem. Sometimes when it's on the inside and we look great, it's because of certain achievements, tangible things. We don't own a house. We don't drive a certain car. We haven't been to a certain place. We don't get to travel. And I find this amongst a lot of beautiful women that have low self-esteem, is they know they're beautiful on the outside, but they don't have those things maybe to support it, to validate it. Like they haven't met that rich guy to fly them all over the world. Or they come from a shitty home with shitty parents. There's so many different variables. But I can show you how to get out of that. With a little tip for today. Get yourself a mirror. Now, for you people that don't know the power of the mirror, I don't have time to go into depth with you, but look up the power of the mirror. Aleister Crowley, who was one of the greatest speakers of all time, whether you like him or not, he had a huge following. He understood the power of looking at your reflection and speaking to it. It starts with your words. You have to do something. You have to say something to yourself every day. Now, find your own words to motivate yourself, to validate and to reaffirm who you are. If your name is Jackie, you need to find those words that says to Jackie, remind Jackie who Jackie is. So when Jackie goes out in the world knows who Jackie is, or the world can't infiltrate Jackie's confidence because she knows who Jackie is, or Tom, Pete, whatever your name is. You have got to find those words that reassure who you are inside. So when you go out there in the world, it can't impact you. Now, you have to set goals for yourself. I'll tell you that, because this will only work short term if you don't have goals for yourself, because achieving goals always improves self-esteem. It gives you that confidence that, yes, you can do this. But in order to achieve those goals, I'm going to give you the fuel you need so that you can achieve those goals. Like I said, my forte is business. I've done it for years. I've had great opportunities. I've done projects for Google, the New York Times. So yes, it gives me that confidence in that area. Atlantic Records, Bad Boy, too many to name, but those stand out in my mind. The film industry, technical consultant. So let me give you those words, or you can pick your own words, but let me give you an example of what you can do every day. Now think about the power of words. Now the Bible calls the word in Proverbs. It says the keys to life and death are in the tongue. It also in Proverbs and Psalm, they both continuously call the tongue the sword. You can cut someone down with your words. It's like when we talk about domestic violence, we always focus on the physical violence that, men are physically usually are physically stronger than women. So we focus on the scars that we can see that are put on a woman or a child. But the scars that are left usually from emotional, they said women tend to be more emotionally abusive. Those scars that are left on men, you can't see. They stay there. Now, this is not a gender argument. That's the best example I can give. And it goes both ways. Men say some cruel things to I've seen men who get rejected by a woman and say something really nasty to screw her day up. I'll give you a great example, my own experience, before I get into the exercise. I was looking for a property manager maybe like almost a year ago. So the company I wanted, I don't know what was going on, but the girl I was speaking to that was supposed to be setting up my account so they can manage my property, she tells me that whatever, her dad was sick and whatever, so there was a lot of frozen pipe issues she was attending to with all the properties. So basically, she never followed up. I took to Yelp and I wrote such a horrible review about this company. 6 months later, around 3 a.m, I get an alert. A message from Yelp. So this woman messages me 6 months after I wrote this review. And she says, "Oh, you like creating Yelp accounts to put businesses down, don't you?" So I respond. I said, "No." I said, "Your company failed to made me go through the trouble of filling out an application, made me go through all this effort to get you. I had no one in place to manage my apartments. And you didn't follow through." But the thing is, in the piece that I wrote, I called her lazy and unprofessional. Those are the two words I used. She tells me in this conversation, she said, "I'm that lazy, unprofessional employee you were talking about." She says, "Don't you know that every day I get out of bed because of what you said to prove something to myself, that I'm greater than that?" I was blown away. I became this woman's friend after that. I had no idea that and she told me that her boyfriend died during that time. She didn't know me. That was none of my business. But she said those words hurt her and got her out of bed every day. Do you see the power of words? I became her friend after that. And I apologized. So now it brings me to my exercise. Get a mirror. Look at yourself every day before you leave this house, because every time you leave that house, you're going off to war. And this goes for whether you're white, black, male, female, whatever your religion is. The science is the same. The experience, the feelings are the same. Look yourself every day in the mirror before you leave and say something great about yourself. I know I'm built for this. I'm the best that ever did it. You have to aim high, because the information out there is so negative that you have to go above that to reassure yourself and to reestablish who you are. But you look yourself in the mirror every day and you say to yourself, this might be my condition today, but my tomorrow is going to be better than this. Watch. Things like that. You have to. Try it for a month. Now remind you, faith without works are dead. You're putting in the work, but then after a while, the more you say it, and you act on it, the more you start to believe it. Now you've given your life purpose. But then you have to set little goals for yourself. You got to follow it through. You can't chicken out. You can't have stage fright. Can't have stage fright. Some of the best speakers in the world, some of the best performers in the world were booed off stage in the beginning. They were booed off stage. But Prince, everyone knows Prince, was booed off when he opened for the Rolling Stones back in 1980 something, before Purple Rain. He was booed off. He went home, took some time off, put himself together, and then became one of the greatest pop icons of all time. And Prince will always say, "I knew I was bad, He talked to himself. You have to talk to yourself. You have to be your best cheerleader. I know that's hard because so much of what we believe has to come from externally. We put so much confidence in how people feel about us and how they respond to us that we lose sight that we are our biggest cheerleaders. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. You are the shit. I know I am. And people tell me all the time that I have a broken mirror. Say, you have a broken mirror. You really think that that you are perfection, and you're not. And I said, you know what? I'm going to keep that broken mirror. And the people that say that to me are still in my life. They're not going anywhere. So they believe it. Either they believe it or not. They believe it by their actions. The fact that they still stay with me till this day. And I hope you like this video. I hope you share it. And I hope you subscribe. And I hope you follow. And once again, you can check out my blog, which is Michi Chulo. That's the name of my blog, the Michi Chulo letters. Instagram is Michi Chulo also. And my book on Amazon is Words Over Matter. The Science of Using Your Words to Shape Your World. Bye.